Go ahead, Cha Cha.
Yeah, peace to the room and all that. What's going on? Can we coexist? I want to stick to the theme of the conversation and, do speak to the young lady as well as the white people in the chat. I mean, we already have, but at what capacity moving forward? I feel like you got to be
Oh, if it's white,
honest
I'm
with the
sorry, Cha Cha. If it's some white people or Latino people that say they white, or really, if it's really some white Americans that been here since the Revolutionary War, please, well, they ancestors, please grab a mic. Don't be in the comments. Don't be scared to come up. We having a conversation. Grab a mic, please. Go ahead, Cha Cha.
Yeah, I think that the conversation should be happening. Only thing that I do push back on is with the other immigrants because they have that mindset by proxy. So we should know the difference between a heritage white American Anglo-Saxon versus other people that be coming over here, and become immigrants, because they think they will be able to inherit that systematic mindset when they're new to the situation. I think we need to go at them a little bit harder when it comes to fighting against our rights and stuff because it's so easy for them to blend in, but at the same time they jumping on the bandwagon of that situation dealing with child slavery. But to the heritage Americans, y'all need to be honest and stop whining about the situation or trying to make us forget about it because you feel guilty. Those microaggressions, it's not, it's like you slap us in the face and instead of saying sorry, you just want to keep on having a conversation with us and think that everything is okay and it ain't. It's like you playing in our faces. So yeah, that's all I got to say right now. But all that, everybody dealt with slavery or we were slaves too and stuff like that, you think it releases you of taking accountability. But
Chacha, I would love to achieve your level of calmness. Honestly. Um, Helly, listen, I'm so sorry. You're right. I got quiet really quick, but according to the research I just did, less than 2% of slave owners were Irish. So I'm not really sure where you were coming with that. What were your I
No, he
mean,
was
we're
speaking
all
on
about
the
like what do you I'm sorry?
Let
helicopter
him
was speak.
answer the black helicopter.
Yeah, what my saying was is you've been saying this whole time about how the Irish was disenfranchised during
I
slavery and
didn't
how
say
y'all was
anything
slaves.
about
Hold on, let me finish. Let
disenfranchised.
me finish. Hold on.
Okay.
So you said during slavery y'all had, y'all was slaves to indentured servitudes, whatever the case may be. And the reason that I push back on that is because the Irish was the actual slave masters, right? And there was so many Irish people that were slave masters. It's documented that the slaves actually started speaking like Irishmen. They actually started sounding like little leprechaun Jamaicans. Okay,
Then why
and
don't y'all
hold on,
sound
hold
that
on. Let me
way?
fin- let me finish, right? And then, like I was saying earlier, the 1866 Civil Rights Act, right? When they were making the arguments for the bill, there was one specific group that they mentioned, one immigrant group, and that was the Irish. And the reason they mentioned the Irish is because the Irish was making so much progress in America, and y'all had so much knowledge of the plantations and how shit worked that they were afraid that y'all were going to take over. So my question was, how is it that you guys were slave masters on the plantation, and you guys were making so much progress to where the government thought y'all was going to take over, but at the same time y'all was indentured servitudes and y'all was just suffering? It don't make sense.
So according to what I just read, less than 2% were slave masters. Less than 2% of the Irish in America were slave masters, but many were slaves and indentured servitude. Correct? We talked about that. So I would like to think that all of us, anybody that was in that situation, who's stuck in that situation, is going to learn something. I would hope. We all did. Everybody.
But you weren't
Right?
stuck in the situation. You were allowed out of the situation. There's a big
How
difference.
so? How so? There were Irish slaves weren't actually
No, there were
released into
not
what
Irish slaves. No, there
1949.
were not. There was
Okay,
no
y'all.
documentation of any
Let's
Irish
move.
All
slaves.
right, come
Okay,
on.
let's
Listen,
move on.
I'm not gonna,
Hello,
like you said, I'm not gonna
hello.
do a victim parade with you. I'm not going to do that with you. I'm just
Damn.
simply telling you my
Y'all hear
research.
me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I can.
Sorry.
You got a little
Okay.
echo.
Do I? Okay. No?
Yeah, you good. You good.
Okay. Damn, the man just left. Go ahead. Let's listen. Um, don't we black people don't bite. I saw you come up. You can come back so you can add to the discussion.
I
Everybody
want
can
King
have a
Pharaoh to
mic.
come up.
Yeah, grab a mic. I know this is a tough conversation to have.
Everybody's been really nice to me, honestly. Everybody's been really nice. Even if we don't agree.
Yeah, thank you, Bobo, for that. Yeah, so grab a mic, helicopter. Go ahead and finish your thought. I mean, let's move on from the slave, and I mean,
Well,
we're
I'll go
gonna
ahead and
agree to
finally,
disagree. Go
I'll go ahead
ahead.
and finally address the prompt if you want me to.
Okay, go ahead, helicopter.
All
Hey,
right,
King, hold tight. We're gonna get to you. If you got something to add when when he gets done, you can. Go ahead, King. I mean, helicopter.
all right. So so the prompt said, can we coexist, right? I'm gonna start off by saying, the Seminole slash Negro Wars of 1815, slave codes, black codes, right? Um, Let me see, Jim Crow, War on Smugs, Biden crime bill, Tuskegee Airmen, Madame LaLaurie, right? Redlining, gentrification, right? Bank laws, credit laws, police in 2026, politics, stereotypes, Latinos, Asians, Africans. I mean, I can go on and on and on about all of the things that we've gotten from the particular group that some people call the dominant society in America, right? So how is it possible with all of this history and all of this stuff that's even going on today, 2026 police today? How can we coexist with anybody like that? The only way we can coexist with these people is in a business relationship where we're the primary beneficiary, and that's it. We might be able to work together. We might be able to go hang out together. We might be able to live together every once in a while. But the moment that we start doing better than them, that's where the conflict arises, right? And then the bad part about it is you got some black folks that marry interracially, right? They marry into those YT families. And yeah, their wife or their husband to be a great person, but it be the damn family members that be the daggone problem. You know what I'm saying? So even in those situations, we can't coexist with them. So with all of that being said, I don't really think I need to say no more about our history with those folks until we get paid what we're owed for all this shit that we went through in America. We will never coexist. And even after we get paid, we're probably gonna coexist from a financial standpoint. And that's it. And I'm gonna land my plane.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Hold
I wrote.
on. What you got to say, Rev? Go ahead.
I just want to. just say this. I really don't understand everything that we do. We just don't do it for Black Americans. Everything that Black Americans do, it benefits every race, and I can't understand for the sake of everything on this earth, why is it nobody want to recognize us? Everybody seems like they're in denial. It is what it is. If the sky is blue and you look up, it's blue. That's the only thing that I feel that hurts me and my ancestors. Because look, we don't have to lie about what we do here in this country. We don't make up nothing. We just keep it real. And I don't know why. As people be so jealous, it seems to me so jealous because they know who we are. And I land my plane. I'm tired.
All right, Rev. King, how you doing? Welcome.
I'm doing fine. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
bringing me on the panel. I don't
You're
have
welcome.
that much to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I
Can you just address the prompt real quick for me? Can we
Yes, ma'am.
coexist? Can we coexist? And then you can
Yes,
say what you got to say.
yes, ma'am. Can we coexist? I believe that we have no choice but to coexist. We've been coexisting, but agree with Helicopter that we coexist on a business level, um, as far as making deals. But as far as a people, it's really hard, I believe, because we're so different. We're so different. I believe black people are just more peaceful, and I don't know, we're just different. But we have to find a way to coexist because we've been coexisting since, like you said, since the Revolutionary War, Civil War. We have a strong tie with white tea people. And so we have to find a way to coexist.
Real quick, King, which white tea people you talking about? Like, are you
The
even including the?
like the ones like you were speaking of, the ones that's been here,
Right. Okay.
that we've been dealing with, that most of us got our names from, our surnames from.
Okay. All right. Original. I'm gonna throw it back at you.
Um, I think we can coexist because we always have. Um, I just think it becomes a little bit tedious and overwhelming when you can see the disparities and you can see the economic hardships, you can see the historical atrocities, you can readily available see all the things that was done to hold the Black American down in the United States of America, and no reparative justice has came from that. So I think people look at reparations as kind of a handout or like a gift, a cash settlement, but that's not actually what reparations is. Uh, I think people need to really look into what reparations is and how reparations was paid to other lineages of people that were done negatively and harmed by the United States government. When it comes to restitution or restoring the things that were lost, like the land that was lost, the deed theft, the land allotments that were taken, the agricultural farmland that was taken. It's so many things that have yet to been reconciled when it comes to things that were done to the Black Americans, specifically descendants of U.S. chattel slavery. So if people don't actually make a repair to the historical harms, then there will always be an underlying tension, because most people were issued reparative justice from historical harms, whether it be the Japanese in the internment camps, the Native Americans, the Alaskan Native tribes, so on and so forth, Cuban refugees. The list goes on. We got technology so you can go see who was actually given reparative justice by the United States government. And when it comes to that, I think people forget that during this 1964 Civil Rights Act, all of those civil liberties and rights to justice that Black Americans fought for went to all other minorities. Also, in the year following 1965, they looked at how they were discriminating on the Immigration Act, and they began to let over more melanated immigrants because their immigration policies were racist as well. So I think when people begin to have these discussions, I think they need to look on history. So how we can move forward is looking at history and learning how to never repeat that. That's one of the forms of reparations as well. They offer you a form of apology, and they vow to never repeat those harms. So I think people need to really look into uh, healing what has been done so we can move forward and go forward, because we've already been living and cohabitating for hundreds and hundreds of years. But I think it's dishonest to pretend like the Black American has not gotten, he hasn't really received his due justice on his land and in his soil. That's where the disdain comes from to me.
Got a rebuttal.
Oh, go ahead, Helicopter.
And are we doing rebuttals tonight? I'm sorry.
I mean, if you got one, go ahead. Nobody popped off and said they had one, but go ahead. You got one.
Okay, yeah, there was two things my brother said that I wanted to point out. The first thing was that he had pretty much mirrored what the last guy said about us coexisting. I want to push back on that. Coexist has a meaning, right? And one of the foundations of the word coexist is for both people to exist in peace equally. There's no point in American history when we have been at peace with the dominant society. You know what I'm saying? So we have never really coexisted with those guys, right? We've tolerated them. You know what I'm saying? We've dealt with their BS. You know what I'm saying? We've overcome all the crap that they've thrown on us. But at the end of the day, we've never actually coexisted. We've never had equal opportunities together. And the second thing you said about reparations can come in many different forms. I disagree with that one too, because all the things you talk about, all those things take cash, right? And when these guys were receiving their reparations, all the other groups, they got cash. The Native Americans, cash. Japanese, cash. Small hats, cash. I think you're going where I see where I'm going with that. So yeah, we can have peace. We can have all these forgiveness and all this other stuff. We could do all that after we get our cash. And I'm gonna land my plane.
Yeah, I'm not against cash, brother. I was just saying it's more to reparations than just cash. I think people use that cash as a scapegoat to argue y'all just want money. No, it's restitution, compensation, rehabilitation, satisfaction, and guarantee of non-repetition. So it's 5 tenets to reparation. Cash is just one of them.